Former President Trump is calling on the FBI to return documents seized at his Mar-a-Lago estate, while Republicans demand an affidavit showing the justification for their seizure.
Let's go to WGN's Sean Lewis. He's here now with more on that. Sean.
This should come as no surprise to anyone right now in this age of deep political divide that we see this widening fallout now this week from last week's search of the former president's Florida estate. Donald Trump is accusing the FBI of taking documents that are protected by attorney-client privilege as well as executive privilege, and at the same time he says he declassified those documents while in office. What is clear is that whatever the FBI is looking for, the public and most of Washington's insiders have yet to see.
No one is above the law.
This is very serious, Andrea.
Even as the talking heads debated the FBI search warrant on Sunday morning television, vocal groups of Trump supporters staged protest over the weekend.
The FBI came after him, but we are next.
This one in New York's Long Island with an ominous tone that many call fear-mongering. Outside Mar-a-Lago, dozens more, some with threats to FBI agents and law enforcement.
My first reaction is to stand with the men and women of the FBI who are simply doing their jobs.
Last week's search of Mar-a-Lago, authorized by a federal judge, and seizure of 11 sets of classified records accelerated a new battle within the political sphere and a call from many Republicans for the FBI to give more information on what they found.
We have this list from the FBI, but we don't have conclusive as to whether or not this actually is classified material and whether or not it rises to the level of the highest classified material.
Court records show some of that material could be in breach of the Espionage Act.
These documents not only contain our nation's top secret, but because there are countries that would do us harm, do harm to our own citizens, we don't want them to get a hold of them.
So the fact that they were in an unsecure place that is guarded with nothing more than a padlock or whatever security they had at a hotel is deeply alarming.
Congressman Adam Schiff says the DOJ has the right to investigate that material.
Anyone in the intelligence community that had documents like that marked top secret, they would be under serious investigation.
Several former Trump aides told the Wall Street Journal that it wasn't uncommon for Trump to bring documents to Mar-a-Lago when he was president, though not everyone agreed with that practice at the time. The FBI's move has led now to Republicans closing ranks tighter around Trump, who's itching closer to another run for president in 2024.
The Justice Department, now that they've done this, that they show that this was not just a fishing expedition, that they had due cause to go in and to do this.
The former president has called on the FBI now to return the documents that they took last week, and just this afternoon posted online that of the items taken, there were 3 of his passports, including an expired one. He called it an assault on a political opponent. The White House maintains that they found out about the search the same time everyone else did when it happened last week.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
You bet.
All right, when we come back here on the WGN Evening News,